So at this point, Nicky, when we go through some of these training things, we just go have a few like quick fire questions. So some of them will be racing related, some of them not so racing related. So first question for you is, outside of the spring festivals, what would you say is your favourite race?
Outside. So you're taking out Cheltenham, Aintree, Punchestown.
Yes.
What's my favourite race? I don't know. We're lucky. There's a lot of, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of races that have been very good to us. Like, I suppose even the Betfair Hurdle at Newbury is a good one. But you know, it's the Coral now, and over the years it's been good. And the King George's, the Christmas Hurdle's always good fun. We have fun. The Fighting Fifth's always been good fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot of those sort of Grade 1 races that have been good to us. So,
what if I got to push you for one, though?
Push you for one. I mean, the King George is probably the special one. I mean, but as you rightly say, the spring festivals take up an awful lot of it, don't they?
They do. And how about favourite racecourse to visit?
Well, I've always say sort of Cheltenham and Newbury. Newbury because it's local and it's the fairest track in the country. Mm-hmm. It's the best track. It's down the road, which makes a big difference. I mean, you're spending your life on the road. It's just a very good racecourse. It's fair. There are no traps on it. I don't mean there are traps anywhere, but Ascot's and Cheltenham's for the chasers, or the novice chasers in particular, you take plenty of jumping. I don't like running horses over the fences first time at either Ascot or Cheltenham. I think it's a stiff test for them. And I've seen too many get real good frights out of it. Yeah. I mean, Mike Bike was the typical example of it. I mean, he went there the first time. I thought he was brilliant. It frightened him to death. Now, he wasn't the bravest of the brave, but I mean, it scared him. And I had to put him back over hurdles for a year. Eventually, he wins King George's and RSA's and nearly wins Gold Cups. But he frightened himself.
That was in the April meeting, wasn't it? I seem to remember around there, didn't he?
No, it'd have been earlier on in the season, I would have thought. Yeah, we had to put him back over hurdles. We have quite a lot of horses had to go back over hurdles because Henderson's stupid enough to send them to Ascot or Cheltenham for their first run, and that's what happens. I'll probably make the same mistake again, but I do believe
that. Next question. If you had to take one horse, or if you could take one horse from another yard, who would you take? Before I ask for your answer, I will let you know that almost every trainer we've spoken to has either said John Bon or Constitution Hill. So, Sorry? So Gino as well, yeah. So everyone wants to steal your horse.
Well, we've had like Paul Nichols.
Yeah. I don't know. You're always looking at young horses that would go going forwards rather than an older horse. Yeah. It's rather like, I think so. I was joining JP there. What we're all going to do? You'd think that horse of his that he bought of Skelton's, the young lion, is it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. New Lion.
The new lion. Yeah. You'd like something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I'd take it out of the way for all of mine.
So go now to some sort of non-racing related ones. So if you wind the clock back 47 years and you'd never got into training, what do you think you would have done?
I'd have been bloody bad at it, whatever it was. It was the only reason we did this was because the only thing you could find where you didn't have to pass an exam.
Okay.
Everywhere else you look, all you got to do is get faced with the exam, which you were going to fail. It would have been boring. So that's why we do it. I can't think what I'd do. I'd say I'd be pretty bad at it, whatever it was.
Paul Nichols said a policeman.
Yeah,
well, his father was.
His father was. Yeah, that's what
I followed my father for a couple of years, but that wasn't a good idea. That would have bored me to death.
I know you're into your fishing. Is there any other sports that you're interested in?
Oh, it's fishing. I mean, that's just something I can quietly sit and do, and I'd actually, just because I'm just as happy in Scotland. I like Scotland, and I'd rather go there than south of France. Quite simple. Really good on a beach. I get bored very quickly.
So
we heard that earlier.
Told us I would get bored very
Yeah. If you were ever put on death row and you had to have one last meal, what would it be?
Quite likely, I should think. Actually, having said that, I like Chinese, but I like simple food. Yeah.
Okay. What would be a Chinese of choice?
Chinese. I don't mind anything. I can eat all those Chinese things, as long as somebody else orders it. Otherwise, it's beyond me. Yeah.
for 47.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, back to a couple more horse racing related ones. Who would you say your favourite sire of all time is?
That's a good question. It's funny, they go in phases, and there's, they come in, they go out. We've all the way through suddenly got an idea that we've got to get stuck into this sire. How many times we've got it wrong? Right. I mean, I had an idea that something was going to be brilliant. We went out and kept buying them for 2 years and finally had to admit that was a big mistake. And I can remember them all going back donks that, oh, goodness, why didn't you just stick to the... So trying to be clever, if you like. David mentioned Minty and we do all those sales, store sales particularly together. And, they come in and out of fashion so quickly. And I remember lots of things we liked. I mean, you could even a bit like, network, if you take, there was a Sarah Sprinter Sacra. I mean, everybody wanted networks.
Yeah.
3 years later, they found out there was only one network that was ever any good. Scorpion might bite. They soon found out there was only one Scorpion. Was
a lot
any
of them
good.
had wind issues, didn't they, the Scorpions?
Well, it might have, but a lot of them no good. They're not. They're rather like him. They can be. I've got a couple now. I mean, whereas nobody would buy a Scorpion at the moment. I mean, you mustn't be unfair on these SARS. And there are a lot coming through. These French SARS that are coming in with very little background, and we don't really know enough about them. And then you get one, and then I've got to go and get some more of those. Like the Nirvana, the Burleys, and the Sarah Lulambas, and things like that. You can follow it, but you go down that network road and then discover that he was a freak. Yeah. And most of these good horses probably are freaks. There are some very, very good SARS. You can look at how Golden Horns and the thing, at least he stands in England, which is great. Yes. He's a big asset to the national hunt world. Whereas a lot of them are in France or in Ireland and France, I should put it really. What do we like? I don't know. I mean, at the moment, it's sort of, you could even say Blue Brazil doesn't seem to be as popular as he was.
Yeah.
Constitution Hill obviously had something to do with that. And, there's an awful lot of them around now, and it's time he got another good horse. Otherwise, there's going, I don't know, we're still Blue Brazilic. I've got a lot of, I think, very nice young Blue Brazils. I'm still a fan. I don't know. There's plenty around that are good, and as I say, it's quite nice that we've got a few of them in England now, which instead of having to go abroad to get the mares covered, especially now we're in or out of Europe, if you like, it's made it so difficult moving these horses around into Ireland and France. Paperwork and it's horrific. Never have got out. It's the end of my political speech.
I agree.
I think a lot of people agree.
So, talking about some of these sort of more up and coming sires, would you say you've got a favourite there? Personally, I really like Jericho de Repenet's sire. He's by Guarda Nord, who is a personal favourite.
Yeah, I've had a couple of others that I thought were going to be good, and they haven't been. And I suppose I was trying to back up from him as well. I had a couple that were very disappointing, but that's not to say he isn't a good sire. I'd still be keen on a perfectly. They're welcome through these doors, yeah. But I've got to say, I had a couple that I thought were going to be all right, and they weren't. I mean, those young sort of sires that are, again, he's one of those French sires that's coming off not a lot in front. They don't cover so many mares with them over there, I don't think. Probably, I mean, I'm not the expert at this. But, there are hundreds of sires in France covering small numbers of mares. They then go and get one really good horse. Woof, everybody wants them.
Everyone's after them.
And suddenly, so they go up to, instead of covering 10 or 20 mares only, suddenly they've got I don't know, or suddenly they get bored.
Yeah.
Like Blue Brazil was. You know, he travelled from France to England to Ireland before it all became sort of, he caught fire.
Yeah.
And, you know, there are those sires in France that are finishing up in Ireland now just because they get one good young horse and everybody wants them.
Yeah.
So they can be commercial.
Yeah.
And that's the way of the world, isn't it? It's it's interesting. I mean, yes, we have our lists of not lists, but we have the ones we like, and you've got to say we have the ones that we dislike. Any trainer will tell you when you've had a few bad experiences, you're not going to rush back.
Yeah.
And you only need 2 or 3 moderate animals by a certain sire. Not surprisingly, you are finding yourself going to the sales saying, no more of those, thank you, even though he's probably doing quite well.
Yeah.
You can't forget them. You can't forget them. No. You don't get your fingers burnt too often. Well, you do. And that's the reason to try and stop it. Yeah.
2 more for you, Nicky.
Right.
Firstly, if I gave you all the power in the BHA and you could make one change, what change would you make?
He loves this question.
I love this question.
No, I don't. I mean, we all have our foibles and things, bits to say. I mean, it's everybody's got their opinions, and if you read the press these days, there are so many opinions. I don't know. You read the Racing Post. Mm-hmm. It's pages and pages and pages of opinions.
Yeah.
What everybody wants to do to do this. And if you go back, yonks and yonks, I remember listening to, I think it was might have been Peter O'Sullivan, but it was one of the great journalists of a long gone era that said that the art of journalism and what you need to write, it's news, not views.
Okay.
And now all you have is a paper full of everybody's views on what everybody should be doing. I reckon, look, we all get on with our job. Let them get on with their job. If we were the ones that are going to solve it, but everybody is telling everybody what to do and how to do it. And it drives me mad, to be honest with you. I want to read in the paper what happened yesterday, not how to bend the world. And everybody seems besotted about criticisms and criticising and.
We can see it winds you up. Definitely.
If I knew the answer, I'd be there.
Of
course, I have views, but I don't think anybody's particularly interested in Nicky Henderson's views. We get asked a lot of the time. I do. I mean, on subjects I think we know about, fine. On the subjects that we don't know about, and I have a nasty feeling, and there's an awful lot of people writing about things they don't know about, and I know that to be a fact, because we have to read articles on the subjects we do possibly know something about, and you wouldn't believe the rubbish that we have to read, which only shows you stick to what you know.
So focusing on the
time
things.
out.
But what about the things that you do know about? What would you like? Like a small change? Like other people we spoke to said less fixtures or changing certain programs.
More prize money.
But it's the natural thing to say is prize money, but that is the crux of the issue, isn't it?
It is.
Prize money is what has got to be. If we can't see a light through the prize money, how are we going to sustain this game?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be here in 20 years' time, which is the good news. But we've got to try and make sure this game is still alive in 20 years' time. That's our it's our responsibility, if you like, to make sure that national hunt racing is still alive and strong in 20, 30 years' time. And we were at a trainers' meeting not so long ago in Lambourne, and the younger guys that are coming along and doing really well. And you'd say to them, God, I'd love to be your age again. And when we were 30 and everything was out there in front of you and you were bashing away and things were going well and you thought you knew the answer to everything. Of course we didn't. We hadn't got a clue. But there's a stack of them there at the moment that are doing really well. Yeah. And it's lovely. A lot of them have come through here.
Yeah.
And we're proud of what they've done. I'd love to be 30 again. But
me too.
But I wouldn't just say I'm that. I'd love to be 30 years old, but I'm not sure I'd. What they're staring down is a bit scary.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping it will be what it's been like in 30 years' time when they're 50 and 60 and 70.
When we're 30 with no social media.
Yeah, exactly. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It still is fun.
Yeah.
And it's got to be fun. We've got to remember one thing. This is all about the whole. An owner comes into this because it's his hobby.
Yeah.
He's not doing it for prize money, that's for sure.
No.
He's doing it for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And we've got to make it entertaining. We are in the entertainment business.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be fun.
Yeah.
And it isn't always because of all the dramas and the problems that we have. So you've got to make the good days really good.
Yeah.
We've got to go out there and try and, as I say, make it. They want it to be fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't say it was more fun then, but there was less pressure. There was less, it's got very, it's not more competitive. It is very competitive. And look, if you're going to do anything like this, it's bound to be competitive. You're trying to win.
Yeah.
Or anything you're going to try and do which involves winning is going to have to be competitive. Whatever you are, if you're playing a game, you've got to want to win.
Yeah,
and therefore you've got to be competitive.
Yeah.
And you've got to try and it's tough and it's a hard game.
Mm-hmm.
It is hard.
Yeah.
And these guys are working, they're hungry. We all were very hungry once. I still am. Otherwise you wouldn't do it.
Otherwise, would you know?
But it doesn't get any easier. No. It doesn't get any easier because those young guys that are coming along are doing incredibly well.
Yeah.
And they're the sort of young bucks of today, like we were at one time. I don't suppose, when I was sort of challenging, I'd been brought up with Fred Winter, who was my sort of mentor and idol. And, then sort of 10 years later, you're actually taking him on for a title.
Mm.
Yeah.
And, don't suppose he enjoyed it much.
No.
And for us, it was terrific.
Yeah.
But, I don't say the boot's on the other foot. It is a little bit.
Yeah.
Was we've got to fight for the old dogs have got to fight for not the scraps, but it's harder.
Yeah.
And not surprisingly, people like the young guys are, they're very hungry. They're very, very determined. And they're probably a bit more sort of, I would say ruthless than we are, but they've got to be very, very determined and that's what they are. But we've got to tough it out too.
Keep you on your toes.
Yeah, they totally do.
Does,
yeah.
And you need to keep them on their toes as well, don't you? The other way. Works both ways. You need to keep them on their toes as well, don't you? By putting up with the winners.
We're still in there fighting.
Still in there.
And we're very lucky. We've got a lot of very good horses.
Mm.
I mean, the top half dozen we have here now are as good as we've probably ever had. So we're here.
Excellent. And final question for me, Nicky. If you could give us and our viewers as well just a couple of dark horses to follow for the season.
I thought that would come.
Leave that one to last.
I had to finish it. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing very dark these days. Everybody seems to know exactly what you're doing, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
There's no. I mean, what I love doing is playing. We've got. I think there's about 14 or maybe more 3-year-olds that have just come in.
Yeah.
We bought them in the summer. They've come in the homebreds or whatever. They found their way here, and we buy a lot of them and sell them. I mean, we've got to sell them at the end of the day, otherwise, We had a winner ourselves yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess why? I couldn't sell it to anybody because it wasn't any good.
I'm sure you'll sell it now, though. You'll sell it now.
I wouldn't. It's not.
Okay.
It's rated 95.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, who on earth? That is not what everybody's looking for.
No.
I would sell it, but actually, we keep it for the younger lads to ride.
Yeah.
And it's won a race. I'm thrilled.
Yes.
It's taken 3 years to do that. I bought it as a 3-year-old, thought it was going to be a superstar. It wasn't, and when you find that out, I couldn't recommend it to anybody.
No.
Nothing wrong with it. It's a beautiful looking horse. It's just a bit slow.
Yeah.
And it got over 3 miles yesterday, rated 95. Second lowest rated horse on the place, and it wins a race, and it's mine. I'm not. I mean, somebody wants to come and buy it off me tomorrow. They can jolly well. I mean, I like it. It's a very likable horse, and it must be worth something. I probably should be selling it. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, you're quite right. I probably should be selling it. It is for sale. Yeah,
big enough. Horses.
I mean, a lot of people say everything's for sale, but I hope they're not, because there are a lot of horses here I seriously hope aren't for sale.
Yeah.
But you see, that's why the young horses are worth loads of money. John Bond and Constitution Hills aren't worth a lot of money. I was doing an article earlier on in the year for the Financial Times, would you believe?
I read that.
And
it was very interesting.
She was a lovely lady, but she didn't get it at all. She couldn't understand how that John Bond wasn't worth, if we paid X for him, and JP bought him, he wasn't the cheapest horse in the world. Why isn't he been so successful? Why isn't he worth 10 times more?
Yeah. I
said, he's actually worth half. And she couldn't get this at all, and never did actually until we'd even written the article. It didn't make any sense, but not surprisingly, at his age, he's no longer he's not a valuable asset. Yeah. He's just a very good friend. And I don't think anybody would attempt to buy him. I mean, JP, it would never be a seller in a million years. Yeah. It's his favourite horse. He absolutely adores it. And who'd want to buy Constitution Hill? I mean, you'd want to buy him, but he was, they were worth a lot of money, but they've been more successful they become, probably the less valuable they become.
Yeah.
They're, once their cream days are over, potential is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you buy the potential, basically, don't you?
You're paying for the potential, only to find out that he wasn't half as good as you thought it was. Yeah. And that's the game.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
You see a lot of
so dark ones, I don't know. We don't know where I'm trying to bypass the question. Yeah. So we don't know. I mean, we don't know what those are now yet. We have got some very nice 3-year-olds that have come in from France and other places. I think the 3-year-old hurdlers this year might just be very good. I mean, last year we had Lulamba. The year before we had Gino. Yeah. So I want to find another of those. Yeah. I don't know if we have. There's 2 or 3 from France. There's one very nice horse we did buy the other day from Andrew Baldy off the flat. And, I hope there's a good 3-year-old in there. Yeah. There's some very good 4-year-olds. I think Lulamba could go chasing. He could be anything. He's not dark, is he? No. So you're always looking at the novice hurdlers. I don't know. We didn't have a particularly strong load of bumper horses last season. And they're always the ones that you'd say going forward would be where your dark horses are. But there's some very nice ones. But they're not. They weren't. We always get asked to be dark. Yeah. I always answer, well, that's brown, and that must be brown. I hope the novice chasers could be good, and I'm still going back to the Jericho stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. There's no secrets. There's nothing to hide particularly. As I say, I hope the 3-year-olds might be good. I think if you follow the exposed ones, there's some French ones and some flat ones, and something I hope is in that. That could be us. It could be a strong division. Yeah.